Hi, and welcome to this week's Read the Bible Together session. This week, we are reading a story from First Corinthians. It is a book of the Bible that we have not yet read from in this series with the Spark Story Bible. But this is chapter 12, verses 12 through 31, and it's called Many Members, One Body. Of course, we're reading from the Spark Story Bible from Sparkhouse Publishing. And I chose this one for this week because coming up on Sunday is a special day in the ELCA, the larger church that we are part of. And it is called God's Work, Our Hands Day. And it's the 10th anniversary of this nationwide day of service. And we have a group of youth and council members doing a service project on Sunday afternoon. And many of you have helped with that service project by bringing in your food and school supply donations for the CAP cupboard at Capital University, right across the street from our church. So we thank you for that. And this story speaks to how we all work together to do God's work. So many members, one body. Apostles like Paul stayed very busy telling many people as possible about Jesus and his love for them. Sometimes Paul traveled to share the good news in person. Sometimes he sent letters to teach his friends more about what it meant to be Christian. Together, they were part of a new family of people who believed in Jesus. And Paul wrote this message to Christians who lived in the city of Corinth. That's one of the cities he wrote to. And he wanted to help them understand how special the church was, including everyone in it. And it's a simple little picture in the story Bible this week of Paul writing letters. So this one to the people in Corinth. His letter says, "The church is like a human body. One body has many different parts, but it's still one body. We are many different kinds of people, but we are still one body of believers." So, side note, this is where we get the phrase priesthood of all believers and the body of Christ. So, Paul goes on. If a foot said, "Because I am not a hand, I'm not a part of this body," that would be silly. It would still be part of the body. And if the whole body was an eye, how could it smell or hear? That's silly too. God made our bodies to have lots of parts, and each part has something special to do. God made all of our parts to work together. The body of believers is the same way. God has given each of you special things to do. Some of you travel to share the news about Jesus, and some of you teach right where you live. Some of you heal the sick or become church leaders. Is everyone a teacher? Is everyone a leader? No, that would be silly too. God made us to be different and to do different things to show our love for Jesus. Just like the different parts of one body, we all have different talents, and we all work together. God has made each of us very special. And again, a very simple picture for the Spark Story Bible of the scroll depicting Paul's letter. So this week, how can you do God's work with your hands?